All right, so hello. Welcome back to Sisterhood of the Traveling Gi. I'm your host, Ashley, and I have my guest here, Julien Moreno.
Hey, everybody.
Quick intro for Julien, for anyone who doesn't know him. He is a teammate of mine at Daniel Perez. He's an MMA fighter. He does gi, he does no gi, sub only. He does IBJJF. He does all the EBI rules. Whatever rules you have, he'll do it. Medalist in every major event. One of South Florida's most exciting submission fighters to watch. And like I said, he's our teammate and one of our new black belts. He is our second black belt, to be exact, under Daniel Perez. Both of our black belts are males.
For now.
For now.
All the black belts are males.
Yeah, so I realized I actually don't know personally that many female black belts in general that I could bring on here. I know a couple.
Yeah, totally.
But I still think it's exciting to even talk to any black belt, really, because, you know, Jiu-Jitsu is such a long and intense journey. Why don't you tell people a little bit about your journey?
Yeah.
Just to give them an idea of what you've been through.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you having me on, by the way, Ash. It's cool to finally be here.
To
finally be here.
I've
yeah.
been being harassed. No, I'm kidding.
Low-key harassed.
Nah.
It's been a long journey, right? I've been doing jiu-jitsu almost 15 years now. 16 years it'll be, basically. I have a Naga sword that's from 2007. I always like to bring up, like, it's like a timestamp. I know exactly when I started doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
Not
yes.
katana.
No, legit, yeah.
Interesting.
Basically, I mean, probably not as legit as the one Danny got me.
Well, do they even still give out katana?
Yes, yeah,
Oh.
Naga. I don't think
feel like
so.
I've seen people.
No, there was a big problem about that. Actually, back in the day, we'll get back to that. Nice little tangent eventually. But yeah, I have a little Naga sword from 2007, from my first competition. So this 2023, it's been almost 15 years now.
15 years, and you're how old?
27.
You're okay.
I'll be 28 now in April.
So you started when you were like 10?
About 12.
Yeah, 12.
I was about 12. Yeah, still a kid, basically. I mean, I think at 12, you're still kind of a kid, so...
No, it's really cool. I wish I would have started training as a kid. I met like a few girls just today at that Jiu-Jitsu Gypsy event where it's all females. And there's so many teen girls there and young girls, and like they know so much, and they're so young. And I was like, damn, man, I feel like trash.
Yeah, I know.
One of them corrected me. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I got a little nervous.
And you're like, they got as many years as you do, right? Like, yeah. I know, and even me, I think I wish I would have started a little sooner than 12. But definitely being a teen and doing jiu-jitsu while I was a teen and growing up definitely helped. I think in my personal life and obviously in growing and developing into like an athlete, and kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't work. I guess I had more time for trial and error, if you could say that. I wrestled all in high school, all 4 years of high school. So I was basically wrestling from about October to February, and then February to October I was doing jiu-jitsu. I focused on each one individually when I was wrestling, but it was always with like the thing that I wanted to fight. Which is kind of ironic. I do so much jiu-jitsu and I'm kind of known for that.
I'm like, you actually don't even do that much like wrestling.
Yeah, no, I got tired of it.
Wrestling. He doesn't do any wrestling, pulls guard all the time.
Exactly, yeah, I got tired of it. I was like, fuck that.
He's
no
a bus
more.
scooter guy.
I am.
He's a guard puller.
Sorry to all those offended.
Even though he wrestles.
Even though I wrestle, yeah. And yeah, it's funny, but and when I first started, me and my brother would always watch the UFC fights, and I was like, I want to do that. So I was doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling for MMA to fight. So it was like kind of ironic that I found myself now like focusing more on jiu-jitsu in the past few years than fighting. But yeah, as soon as I turned 18 though, I had my first MMA fight.
Yeah, and you said you did 8 fights.
Yeah, I've had 8 fights in total.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever talk to Thug Ash, who was on here like on our earlier episodes? Mm-hmm. Does she ever come up to you? Does she even know that you fought 8 matches?
Yeah, she does. She's asked me for advice, and
that's
yeah, and I've helped her out with a couple positions here and there,
Have you noticed anything different between like female and like helping her out for MMA,
Mm-hmm.
like?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, like, the sports are totally different. I mean, getting, like, jiu-jitsu just for jiu-jitsu is a total different ballgame than jiu-jitsu for MMA. I think anyone who fights will kind of, would agree, I think, because obviously, it's like the saying, right? Everyone, as soon as you get punched, you get turned into a white belt. you know. And you never heard. As soon as you get punched, you turn into a white belt, basically, because it's like different, right? Like when you're getting actually hit in the face.
Is it because you blank out? Or?
No, it's just different. Like getting punched in the face, having to block the punches, and
bro.
it's different.
Can't jiu-jitsu when you're punching me.
You know, I gotta worry about getting punched and punching back.
Have you done combat jiu-jitsu?
No, I actually haven't. I don't know. You know, I'm not. You know, this is why I'm on the fence, and I'm not against the CJJ at all. You know, for everyone out there who wants to do combat jiu-jitsu, like, good for them. You know, it's totally legit. You know, personally, I just feel like if I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna wanna be able to punch you, and you know, I don't know. I just rather be able to do kickboxing and everything if we're gonna be punching to begin with or striking to begin with, right? Because in combat jiu-jitsu, it's just with the palm,
right.
but. Yeah, it's just with the palm, you know, not a closed fist, but I feel like for that, I'd rather just hit you with a closed fist and be able to transition everywhere and not just be limited. I don't know.
Yeah, personally. A lot of people say that it like pisses you off or you want to punch them.
Because you're getting slapped in the face, you know?
Because you can only slap.
Yeah. I got that vibe the last event I refereed at White Lion. Shout out White Lion Promotions, by the way.
Shout out White Lion Promotions.
Yeah, little
Miami,
plug there.
Best. What is it?
Yeah, the best sub-only event, the best sub-only jiu-jitsu event in South Florida. Gonna be the best in the nation eventually.
Check them out. They're getting real popular.
Yeah, follow us.
While you can.
Definitely. They started having combat jiu-jitsu matches, and it was funny. In one of the matches, I like they were kind of smiling back and forth because they were hitting each other, but you know, at one point you could tell that one of them got a little more upset, and you know, I kind of leaned in and started watching them a little bit more because I wanted to make sure they didn't actually punch each other or like in maybe one of the pushing them away to stand up type of deal. They kick, you know, they up kick the other or whatever. So yeah, you know, I could only assume that when you're getting slapped like that, it's different. I don't know. I don't get like that when I'm getting punched. It's not like I get like angry, like upset you're punching me, you know. I guess it's like the same way I wouldn't get mad that somebody's trying to armbar me.
You don't think you get mad at slapping?
I don't know. I guess it's.
They were like, it feels more disrespectful.
Yeah, I guess so.
They get slapped instead of punch. Like, just punch me, man.
At that point.
Slapping me. Like, what is this?
It's a little weird, definitely.
A little weird. But like he said, anyone that wants to do it, if you're interested, go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. I did want to say, when did you get? Okay, so when did you get? No, you had your brown belt for like what, 3 or 4 years? You said?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years as a brown belt, and then you just got your black belt
in December. It's been about 2 months
2022. Now. So super fresh. Has his first fight coming up as a black belt, right? Yeah. That's your first competition fight. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. My first super fight, as a black belt.
How did you feel different? Like, were you nervous? Like, I don't know.
You know,
your first black belt fight, does it feel the same?
Yeah. You know,
same.
I gotta say, not without trying to toot my own horn or anything, you know, I always feel so posh when I say it, but like I feel like I've been competing at a high level for a little while now.
Brown belt is pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of people say like once you're like at the end of brown, like you're already a black belt, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of agree with that too. And to your point, once you're like a purple belt, purple, brown, and black, so all kind of they're mixed together. You see, in like an advanced. Yeah, sorry, Ash, you're up there in the advanced. You know jiu-jitsu now. You know, they're all kind of lumped together. So I feel like I've been kind of competing at that level for a while, and everyone I face has been very serious, and you know, either it's a full-time trainer or you know, has been competing for just as long as I have and training just as long as I have. So the level has been high for years, so I don't feel any different in that sense. But that you know, nice. Right. But there is still that kind of you know, nervousness. There is a different level to it, you know. This is everyone. It's Danny put it pretty bluntly. You know, everyone that I'm gonna fight now is gonna be an instructor at some place, right? Like, you know, they're going to be the head instructor or the assistant instructor,
one of the instructors,
right? One of the teachers of the school. So, they're gonna be high up there, you know, and that's just the name of the game. And I've always like loved the competition. I've always wanted to fight people better than me, and so that's. Now is like the best time. Like what better opportunity than from now on where all I'm going to be fighting are the best of the best, basically.
The best of the best. Yeah, like, and then with Pam's coming up, like that's like even more high level, like
Yeah, now we start getting
that are
into
trying to get ranked and everything.
Yeah, you start getting into the majors, and it's a whole different ball game there. Those are professionals, it's professional athletes out there. So
it's so exciting to watch the females compete. Do you watch the female competitors? Like, do you have any favorite ones?
oh yeah,
Who are your
100%.
favorite female black belts?
Man, I always talk about her all the time, and even like technically, and like watching her, studying her, Maisa Bastos.
Oh yes, I love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's incredible. Great athlete.
What's your favorite thing that she does?
She has really, really great guard retention, which is something that I respect a lot, because, being on bottom, if you want to play bottom and be having a good guard, you have to have almost better guard retention, because, you're almost always in danger of getting passed, or the person on top, if they get an inch or two, in one direction, they might have the advantage. And so, sometimes it leaves you on bottom scrambling or making mistakes. So when you see them that are like those people that are super confident, even when you think, oh man, that's a bad position to be in, but she recovers so quickly from a lot of them and turns them around like into attacking, that it's like crazy to see.
Her inversions are like out of this world. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like she's inverting from every position, no matter whatever she lands in. Even if she's like on top, she like finds a way to invert somehow.
Right?
And I'm just
yeah.
like, what is even happening? It's it looks so tiring though, like to retain a guard like that, like. Yeah,
that tenacity to like keep going. It's crazy. So I definitely think she's one of my favorite ones. Yeah. 100%.
Do you like anybody from like the heavier category?
I want to say 100% somebody that I've studied a bunch. Anna Vieira, Anna baby.
From
Anna.
Aviv?
Yeah, she's one of the owners of Aviv Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu school, It's in Boynton Beach?
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely in central, more central Florida.
North Florida.
Yeah, central north to us.
North to us, central Florida.
North of Fort Lauderdale, south of Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, actually, I just met a female black belt that they train at Aviv a little bit. Her girlfriend trains at Aviv.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. But that girl, she was a black belt. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. I just met her. Jesus.
Today at the event.
Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, so I for sure like followed her already on Instagram, because I'm like, it's a black belt. Like finally, like I don't know that many female black belts. Like, I think I can count like them on my hand.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's not even personal. Like I think I know like 3 personally.
Right. Yeah, I've actually I've hoped one day to go up there and train with her Anna, and I've wanted to. I wanted to visit their school. It's a lovely school. It looks really nice. Yeah. Hey, we can make a trip.
Try to bring some girls. Yeah, like let us know. We can all go. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool. She's amazing pressure passer. She has amazing passing skills, and it's definitely something to look for. She's like a 3-time world champion, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but she's more than once has she won the worlds. More and very in good fashion. She's got great technique. So it's definitely another girl that I've studied a lot too.
Yeah, she's really good. I was saying that today earlier. I'm like, I just need everybody to like smother me and squash me and pressure me, because I feel like it's such a weakness. I'm just like, God damn it. And this white belt lady was like destroying my face, and I'm like, I need this. I didn't expect this, but I need this.
But I gotta work on this. Yeah.
And then she took off her rash guard. I'm like, wow, she's really buff.
Yeah,
I felt it.
It happened. Yeah, as a little person myself, I'll tell you that that's like a skill that I think that I've learned and I've gotten.
What?
Like being able to work through that pressure and people using their strength and weight on top of you, and nothing against people who have that kind of game, because that is a game, a pressure passing game, and
right, we can still figure it out. We can find a solution.
Yeah,
which I did. It was just I had to deal with the crushing pressure on my face.
It just sucks sometimes, right?
But I need to deal with it. We need to deal with it. It's part of the game.
Exactly.
It is. So, but it's getting better. Remember, I was like having panic attacks. It's getting a little better.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. Yes, that's important.
And I didn't. Yeah, and today, and I was wearing a gi today, so
it's even more suffocating.
Yeah, even more suffocating.
Yeah, right.
So, and I was very happy. I was like, this is amazing. Cool. But anyway, sorry. Okay. So I did mention that you're the second black belt of our academy.
Yeah.
So we know eventually one of the girls is gonna get promoted to
100%.
black belt, right?
Yes.
We only have 5 consistent. Okay. upper belts, I guess. Let's go with the upper belts. We only have
Yeah.
like 3 purple belts
Right
now, I believe. No, 4 purple belts.
4 purple belts.
4 purple belt females. So, if you had to give us advice on like working our way up to black belt as a female specifically, like from what you've seen, because I know like even though you're a male, like I know you've talked to a bunch of females, you study a lot of females, you still watch them, like we're still exciting to watch.
Yeah,
I would hope.
No, 100%. No, it is. Yeah, 100%.
What knowledge would you pass along to specifically like a female that you think would help us?
Yeah.
Or even to represent our school,
Of
right?
course. Yeah, definitely.
Representing our school together.
100%. And yeah, I'm glad that you said that, because as a male, I don't know anything of the struggles of women. Like I just want make that a point. You know what I mean? I'm just only speaking from what I've heard. You know what I mean? Just to make so I'm not like sounding like as a holier than thou kind of thing. But yeah, I would definitely say that it's gonna be uncomfortable. Especially like. Growing in the higher belts, people going a little harder on you, and it's not just a female thing, it's just a in general thing, it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally. No one is trying to make a point or prove a point, they're just, going hard because you're getting better. And just like not even in that sense of like people going hard on you, but just maybe uncomfortable with your progress. It's, I guess it's hard to kind of specify towards females specifically, because it's just the same kind of things that are going to happen to males or to anyone, you know what I mean? That kind of uncomfortableness when you're going up the belts, where more pressure, more leadership is kind of expected of you. People look to you for advice. People look to you for help with technique. All that, it sometimes can feel uncomfortable, or you feel that pressure, it's just, to get past that, like you have to go through that wall. You have to kind of do a leap of faith, to kind of know that when you're going to go through that uncomfortableness, but you're going to come out better. You're going to learn a lot from it. And, yeah, I just think that that's like kind of the only real advice, because specifically, I don't really think that, females go through anything, I guess, different.
Okay, so I feel like some people I do. No, what? No, because you're right. There's only like slight differences. Like I would say, some people will say, "Oh yeah, I'm going. I can't go easy on you anymore." But then, like in my mind, it still feels like they're going easy on me. Do you think that does that happen to you, or is that just like I'm trying to figure out if that's just a female thing?
No, yeah.
For sure, some people are not. For sure, some people are going easy on me.
Yes.
Like I called out a teammate, and I was like, "You let me out." I felt like you let me out.
Yes, yeah.
You could see me struggling, and you like let me out, and
I
didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that he was like, "Yeah," and I'm like,
Yeah. No, I 100% say that. Unfortunately, guys do have, or some guys in the sport. It's just in men in general, right? There's still that kind of misogyny that exists in the world, obviously, and unfortunately, still in the sport that where we're all supposed to be humble and like it's just inherent that everyone is equal, because the technique is what's gonna speak for itself. It's no one's gender or race or where they come from is gonna make them better at jiu-jitsu. It's just the technique that makes them better. So
don't go easy on us.
So don't like it's don't go easy on anyone. Yeah, you shouldn't be like thinking like, oh, because it's a girl or because whatever, like, you're gonna go easier or gonna go.
Or like maybe they're just like not taking us seriously. I don't know. Do you think that's?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that ties back into like the misogyny thing I was talking about. There you go. Found a point again. It ties back into the misogyny where guys are like, this girl just needs me to go soft, or I have to go light on her, or, I can't go hard on her because I'm gonna hurt her, or she's fragile, and things like that, that unfortunately exist, and that some guys do think that way. I don't think that. You shouldn't think of it as like I'm gonna hurt her because she's a girl. Like you treat her like any other normal person, or training partner.
When you see me struggling, do you like lighten up?
No, I
Or
wouldn't.
lessen up, whatever.
I wouldn't like lessen up more on you than I would on anyone else, differently. But I do see that guys
Some
have done
guys
that.
do that.
Yes, some guys do that. And like even like with the assumption of like because you're a girl that maybe you're newer or you don't know, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like unfortunately again a wrong assumption that some guys make for one reason or another. But I don't think that they should, that shouldn't be happening. You should just be treating
Yeah.
everyone equal like your training partners.
So, if anyone's listening that goes easy on girls, please stop. Like, unless they tell you to like go easy on them, like if they literally verbally say go
right.
easy on me, fine. But in general, like don't lighten up on them if you see them struggling. Like make them work through it. Make us go through it, because at the end of the day, you're just sabotaging us too. Like we're trying to get better, and then if you just like let go, like give up everything, like oh they're struggling, whatever, I'm just gonna move to something else, and you don't even let us try, like our development is gonna be way slower. And then that's why we enjoy rolling with girls. It's not even because like the strength, like yeah, the strength affects it too, but you deal with that too, like the monster beat people, like the super buff people, like it happens. But it's more about just not going easy on each other. Like girls, like the way guys and guys don't go easy on each other, the girls and girls tend to not go easy on each other.
Yeah. Right.
We tend to smash each other.
Right. Yeah.
And we just want the same thing. Like, okay, maybe if you're like a 300-pound buff dude, like, yeah, don't smash the 120-pound girl.
Yeah, right. I mean, they say in and of itself, you should know not to do that.
Right. Like, if it's like that. But if you're like the same weight or like even just where you can tell that it's a manageable
right,
role,
yeah, 10, 20 pounds, 15
yeah,
pounds.
like, don't go easy on us, man. Like, we want to be black belt champions too, or some of us do.
Right.
And we all want to get really good, but if you're
course.
going easy on us, it's really hard to progress. I don't know why. At least I feel like that it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, no, 100%, I agree, and I've heard like personal stories from like my girlfriend Michelle and from like other girls too, of guys like looking at them differently, or like you said, just training with them differently, and definitely that shouldn't be happening.
Or avoiding us.
Yeah,
and it's like,
that's even worse.
It's mostly dudes. Dude, it's mostly dudes. So we have to fight the dudes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. In a dominated sport, I think that like number one, actually, on a side, like no, like people have to learn how to train with each other more. I feel like people should like, that's like a thing to learn, like how to go hard, how to maybe go a little less hard, how to be able to go hard without hurting somebody, not having to rip every submission. And I think that that's kind of like in the same of, unfortunately, having to learn how to like just like roll with the other sex too, men just rolling with women, like learning how to do that. And it's like
how to reduce your like intensity.
Yeah, it's not every guy, because there are a lot of dudes who just think normal of like training with females and don't think of it it's any different than training with the men, but I obviously, like, for the other half or the other 25% of people that are men who are training with girls, they should learn that. And I think it's more so they should learn that before they start doing jiu-jitsu, or as they're new, like, hey, get the hint, because I feel like it happens more with like white and blue belts, than it does maybe with some of the higher belts sometimes. I think maybe by the time you're a brown belt or a black belt, I feel like at least a good amount of the people there should already know, hey, like, how to roll with everyone. Lighter people, bigger people, women,
yes,
men,
absolute division.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Should know how to be able to roll with everyone, either not hurt them.
I've been working on that, like trying to go with like bigger people.
Yeah.
To like break out of the fear of the absolute division. Even though I've done it before, but it's been a very long time.
Yeah, right.
Danny would always be like, just do it. Just do
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should, right? Well, funny, like, to lead into that, it's funny because the first time I ever did an absolute, it was at a New Breed, and I literally went up to Danny and I was like, man, I want to sign up, like, it's only $20 extra. I was like, all right, Danny, should I do it? Yeah, right? And I was like, Danny, should I do it? And he's like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Just jump in there. And I was like, okay.
That's always an answer.
Yeah, exactly, right? And and man, it was actually pretty great. Like, I submitted a really, really tough black belt. That was actually the first time I had submitted a black belt in competition. I was still a purple belt at the time.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and it was like, wow, holy shit, I could do this, So it was pretty cool.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it at least once.
Yeah. I encourage everyone to do it, from big and small. I mean, maybe if you're small, think about it a little bit more than I did that day, but definitely should do it.
Do you think you behave differently now that you got your black belt, like for the lower belts, do you behave differently around them, or do you try to like project a persona?
God, I hope I don't. I hope I really
or like,
don't.
do you feel responsibility? Like, oh, you did say something like you felt like responsibility for something. Like, what do you feel responsible for?
Well,
Okay, guys, sorry, that's Shadow. He's hearing music. Shadow. Shh.
I might have to go soon. No? Alright, he's gonna chill.
Okay, so I asked you if I think if you behave differently around the lower belts, or if you feel a sense of responsibility, and if you do, like, why do you feel responsible as now as a black belt? Like, people tend to feel more responsible, right? Because you're representing the school,
right?
But what responsibility do you feel like? Do you feel like you need to produce more awesome black belts? Or like you just want to pass on knowledge? Like, I don't know, like what do you feel responsible for?
Yeah, it was funny. I made a joke to Michelle, my girlfriend. I was like, man, I love going to the gi classes. I get to put my black belt on, look at it, right? I'm so vain about it. But no, I think that I haven't looked at, even when I was a brown belt. I still felt that kind of like, people looked at me or asked for me for advice, came to me for technique advice or advice on competition and stuff. So I felt like that responsibility for a little while now. And, when I got my black belt, it's kind of like people, this thing that you imagine in your mind, and you wait for the day and you think you're going to feel some type of way, or you're like, you go through the scenario 100 times and you live out the event in your mind, whatever. And when the day came and I just started putting my black belt on, I didn't feel much different,
You're just like, this is nice.
Yeah, it's just a nice little thing. But, at the same time, I feel like could have been a difference with the way people engage with me. I really don't I wouldn't engage with anyone differently.
Do you feel like people are engaging with you differently?
I don't, a little bit, maybe, only because I guess like now it's like a title thing, right? It's like, when you're talking to your friend who's in medical school, he's just in medical school, and then he's like a doctor, he's like, you're a doctor, you know what I mean? You're going to go now.
Or you're just a student.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I hope it's not that way, right? But I definitely don't act like that differently toward any other belt. I go to open mats at other places all the time, and there's no way of knowing what belt I am. And people call me out, white, blue, purple belts, and and some of them roll harder, some of them roll lighter. They don't roll because they know I'm a black belt. They just go roll because they want to roll. And they'll call me out or whatever. And so I don't look at anyone else differently.
How about in our gym?
No,
Everyone's
the same. even more at our gym because of how long I've known everyone. How long?
But you don't think anyone like, because they would always comment like on Samurai when he got his black belt that people would just want to tap a black belt.
No, I don't feel like anyone goes. I don't feel like anyone does that. No, I don't. I don't feel like anyone goes any harder with me now than they did before. Everyone beats me up all the same.
What do you mean? I feel like I have to go harder.
Well, I've had to go harder with you because you got better, but that's different. That's the inverse. You just felt it. Yeah, you felt it exactly.
I'm going tougher because you're going tougher, then you just keeps going.
Yeah. But no, I don't feel like anyone has gone like harder or anything like that because I'm a black belt. And like I said, I feel like people have. I felt that responsibility because of how much I compete and how much I go out there. And try to win things for the academy and try to put the academy name on the limelight. I feel like Daniel Perez, BJJ, for anyone not listening, right?
Plug.
Yeah, plug them in. Shout outs to the boy. I felt like everyone's kind of looked up to me for that for a while and for a long time, and I've enjoyed that role of being like the lead competitor. Of kind of motivating everyone. I don't see myself as the leader. Danny is our leader. You know what I mean? I tell people, I'll defer to him, whatever he says first and foremost, but being like the person who competes or like tells people to compete or whatnot, I enjoy that role and I like motivating people, so I think like it just carries on now with like an official title, I guess you could say, a professor.
Professor.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like that little half guard like was like fucking with her and like said some shit to her about like a technique that she was doing or something, and I was like, and it was he assumed that she didn't know anything any better and stuff, and
not taking her seriously.
Right, not taking her seriously. and assuming that like she didn't know shit when I'm like she's.
I hope they don't think that about female black belts.
You'd be surprised. I mean, obviously, like I said, like fuck, guys are still misogynistic as fuck. So they're I'm sure there are people out there who don't watch the women compete for that reason because they're just fucking girls and they think that they don't.
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, we just jumped right back in. We're talking about judgments
awesome.
on females. Sorry, yeah. You can go.
Yeah. No, it's just.
I can't believe that.
Yes, yeah, there are plenty of people who don't watch the women, don't think that they're exciting or don't care to watch them. It happens at ADCC. It happens in IBJJF. And you know what?
Which makes no sense. It's like we're literally doing the exact same thing. If anything, it's more exciting because some dudes just fight standing the whole time, trying to like trip each other.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to, and they're just like buff and topless, and you're just like, okay. This is not jiu-jitsu, guys.
And there, like I said, there are some girls like who really just like their technique is just freaking insane.
Because that's what we rely on. Like,
we're
not. Well, some of us are strong. Don't get me wrong. I'm strong enough, but at the end of the day, most of us have to rely on the technique.
Right. No, and it shines. The last women's Grand Prix that happened.
Oh, that's actually another one's coming up.
Oh yeah. There's another one.
March 11th.
Yeah. I haven't seen that card specifically just yet, but I remember the last one. Like Jessica Khan was on there. She's a big prospect out of out of AOJ. She's really, really talented also, I gotta say that unfortunately I just think that like misogyny runs deep, and in everywhere in life, unfortunately, even in the 21st century. So, but what do I know, guys? By the way, I don't know anything about anything. But
I hope it's less. I hope we're making a dent.
I think we are. I think we are.
So?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think it. I guess it kind of ties into like being a black belt and being at the top and being kind of responsible for setting an example. I'm glad that the IBJJF and these other organizations are setting an example and putting these females to the front. Like these are our headliners, of our card, because they deserve it, Brianna St. Marie, the ADCC champion. It was insane to watch her run, because she's just so goddamn good. She is so good, just like Fiona Davis,
She's going to be on the Grand Prix.
Oh, okay, right.
Amy Campo, I think, is also going to be in the Grand Prix on this one. I don't know if Brianna's going to be there, but... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember, but do you remember Amy Campo?
Yeah, of course.
Against Gabby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that went against Gabby. Yeah.
We see the girls have a giant slayer now.
They have a giant slayer. There's two. Yeah, there's a male giant slayer and a female. They gotta specify. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's like just so much talent everywhere, and even in the females. And I think that it's just unfortunate that they don't get sometimes as much recognition as they deserve or respect as they deserve sometimes.
We're definitely getting more though.
Yeah, 100%.
Those females, 100%. Those specific females are really pushing like the female agenda. Of, like, guys, look at us.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and women have been around, and don't get me wrong, I'm not just talking about the women of now, Kyra Gracie and all the women of old, the OGs, the OGs really set the pace for everyone, because Kyra Gracie is one of the greatest champions in ADCC history, and her jiu-jitsu is amazing. I remember, I'm from a time, I've been doing, like I said, jiu-jitsu for 15 years now. I remember when Dana White went on, this is from MMA, but kind of relevant, where Dana White said women will not fight in the UFC. We will not have a women's division. 2 years later comes Ronda Rousey selling out pay-per-views. Millions of everyone wants to see her and her talent and her skill. And all of a sudden the tune changes. Oh, we have women's division now, right? Because it's, it brings them money, Unfortunately, that had to happen, he did it out of a greedy stance, not from a moral stance, but it got done.
Like respect, I respect you as a fighter, as a female fighter. No, I just want the money.
Right, yeah, but you know what? I'm glad that it happened anyways, because then it was a flood that couldn't be stopped, Anyone else who was upset that women were fighting for whatever reason or didn't think they were skilled enough, saw, hey, damn, hold on. There's a lot of other girls like Ronda Rousey better than her, who are constantly evolving the game just like anyone else, and they deserve their spot. So
very exciting stuff.
Yeah. All for it, 100%.
So speaking of, now that you said I'm setting an example as black belts, so you've had a very loud stance on. Hold on. A very loud stance on how black belt professors specifically should behave in regards to interacting with their female students. And I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about children here, guys. Okay, we're talking about adults.
Yeah, adult relationships.
Adult relationships, right? With black belt teachers and their students. So just inform everybody on your stance on that. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, you know,
Very loud about it.
Yeah, you know, I think that it's a professional environment, you know, at the end of the day, and it's a sport. Everyone's trying to learn, and the only way that people can learn is obviously in a comfortable environment where they don't feel, you know, harassed, or they don't feel pressured in any way. You know, I just feel like equality needs to happen, and you need to treat everyone the same, you know, and I don't know, you know, I think that's like a pretty basic and a common stance I think everyone can get behind, you know, no matter where you are or what your opinions are. I think that everyone can agree on just you should be treating everyone equal and not be putting, I don't know, any kind of unneeded pressure or any weirdness on anyone, you know, just be friendly with everyone. And
okay, so if we compare it to like a different professional setting, like a job,
right? Yeah.
Would you date somebody at your job?
Right. Well, you know, I'm all for consensual relationships, of course. You know, my girlfriend does jiu-jitsu. We didn't meet at the same gym, but there are plenty of relationships that have started at our gym, right? Right. Points. Don't want to point no elbows, or, you know, fingers over here. But there have been plenty of relationships that have been started inside the gym. You know, it changes a little bit, obviously, when it's a professor we're talking about, because the power dynamic. You know, you don't want to like acknowledge it, but there's unfortunately like a power, you know, thing there going on. You get me? It's not like a normal interaction where you're at a bar or at a I don't know, at a sport game or at a baseball or at a friends meeting.
Why do you think that's there? That power vibe.
You know, I do think it's kind of, and I'll tell you what, and I've seen it because of the way you know, like people are constantly asking me for advice, or they want to roll with me. You know, I'm kind of like the person, I don't know, that gets called upon. You get me? Because of my quote unquote status that I have as a black belt. You know, as being like the most experienced in the room. So me being at the top and like kind of like looking down, I don't know, it's kind of like the power like corrupts you, you know? I mean, not to say that it corrupts everyone, but you know, they feel like if they're getting more attention from, let's say, like if a female student walks up to them and asks them or questions or wants to drill with them, you know?
You mean to like a regular other student or to the teacher?
I mean, like if a student, if the student walks up to the teacher, for example, a female student walks up to a male teacher, whoever.
Oh, okay.
And like is asking her for advice. It's not open for him to like do any advance or make any advance on her. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's just like you should just be like acting.
So what if it's like outside of that? Like what if it's off the mats and not during like those interactions and stuff?
It's difficult to say, you know. Obviously there's like a little line of when like people become adults and can do whatever they want, you know, and I'm all for that again, like I said. But the power thing, you know, you have to like identify it. You get me? Like you have to know that there's a power imbalance going on there, I guess, kind of say. Not like power as in like gender or anything, but like, hey, this is my teacher, I am the student, you know?
Right, like you're definitely above me, like senpai.
Yeah.
You know, like
right. Yeah, you know, and like I said, like relationships can always happen on the mats and
it's
even
so weird
between.
though, because it's like a rank thing. Like I don't know, it's weird that power dynamic. I don't know. I feel like okay, as long as maybe if you're aware of the situation,
right.
But then again, you do have the creepers.
Yeah.
Right? The what do you call them? Mat predators or something?
Yeah.
Mat creepers. I don't even know what you call them. I don't remember.
Mat creepers are at every belt level, but every belt level. There's always those weird guys that, hey, you want to drill?
Oh God, yeah.
You know?
That was terrible.
Yeah, that happens.
Don't ask that way, guys. That was already very creepy.
You see? That's what I'm saying, and imagine that.
Okay, so I feel like it's okay, because I don't know, you know, like, these are also people who, like, all they do is jiu-jitsu, right? So it must be really hard to meet people also.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for the most part, you're meeting, like, parents or like maybe single parents
Mm-hmm.
or your students
Right.
who are adults,
Yeah.
whether they're in their 30s, 40s, 20s, whatever. I think it's okay as long as you don't get those creeper vibes or those predatory
Mm-hmm.
power dynamic vibes.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of sense it.
Mm-hmm.
And even better, like, ask people around you. Sorry, I was holding this for a long time.
It's okay.
I forgot what I was saying. What is? Oh, ask people around you if you're deeply considering dating a professor and you're an adult, but like, it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
It is weird that it does exist. That
Yeah. The problem is that the line is like, it's like so thin, right? Like between, for example, like you can go into the relationship and be like, okay, I can deal with him being my professor, or like I can separate it. Or even like being a professor, you can be like, I can separate, dating her, being her like significant other off the mat, and still being her like teacher here, and mixing it and all that good stuff. Like we can work, two people can work it out, but if it doesn't work out, the relationship doesn't work out or something like that,
yeah, for sure.
that's right. Then it becomes, right. And it can be from one side or the other. It could be both, and that's, I guess, when maybe sometimes the stigma of the relationships come, right? Like, it's not always bad. It's not always 100% bad, but it definitely has the potential to be.
Right, like,
bad.
Obviously, if something goes wrong, that person's gonna have to leave. Most likely.
Right, but then what if that person doesn't want to leave? And then the professor, right, wants to say, hey, I'm the black belt,
Banned.
right, and then we get into that, then we get into the negative situation that we're talking about. Right, then that's like, okay, no.
That's the whole, shit where you eat.
Mm-hmm, right, exactly.
Do you think there would be favoritism too? Like in promotions or whatever? Or maybe just giving them more attention on the mats, like for drilling, Like, do you think that would happen?
I don't think so.
No? You think they would be able to keep it professional?
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody. Some people.
Right, yeah. I think the majority...
Not everybody can do it, maybe.
Yeah, I think the majority would, if they're in that situation and they're doing, they're having a relationship like that on the mats, I think they can definitely separate it. Like I said, I think it's just... I think everyone just has to be aware of what's going on, and you as the professor, just likewise being the one in charge, has to be able to check yourself and be like, not even in charge.
Or allow yourself to get checked by others.
Yeah, not even like as a black belt, just as somebody with notoriety or with experience or skill level that's looked up to in your academy, you should know that maybe people are going to come up to you and ask for help and stuff, and you should want to make the best environment for everyone.
Yeah, and you said there's mad creepers at all levels, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it, like, personally?
I've not seen it personally. I have heard stories. Like I said, a little, hey, you want to drill thing. I've heard stories, unfortunately. People, yeah, that close contact be making people go crazy. What's up with that, man? Chill out.
Look, chill out.
It's not like that. We're just simulating murder.
Simulating murder by
That's all.
Using your body as a weapon.
Exactly. That's all it is. Yeah, but it happens, What can we say?
I don't know.
Lead by example. That's what I say.
Example.
Yeah.
Don't be a mad creep.
Do not be a mad creep.
Let's see. Do I have anything? Is there anything else you would want to say about anything black belt related?
Just compart yourself in a way that where others are gonna look up to you. I feel like that's like where others are gonna look up to you. Sorry, and you're proud of that. Or they can be proud of that. Better said. I think that being a black belt in jiu-jitsu specifically takes a very long time. It's a respectable thing. It should be a respectable thing, and respectable people should hold that title. You know what I mean? And even if they're not, I feel like the title should mean something, to those people. If it doesn't, it doesn't, whatever. But that's just my personal opinion. If you're given a black belt, people are going to look up to you. You're gonna be like a beacon kind of thing. Whether that's
terrible when you do bad things and you're a black belt.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It has like an extra bad tinge to it.
Right? Yeah, because people assume they think that that's what I'm saying. The black belt means something, so people should start putting that
Treating it
meaning
like it
in,
means
yeah,
something.
putting that meaning back into it, and I think the one thing I've been thinking about is being a difference in the future,
Wanna
I guess in
promote
the
that.
generation, yeah, of in this generation of talking shit and acting a fool to get attention, and I don't know,
And
sometimes
ignoring the bad things
mis
that are happening.
yeah, misrepresenting the sport, and what it means.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to be that beacon for everyone else to, like, hey, follow his example. Like, he can be somebody, people can know about him, and it doesn't have to be like that. It can be different. We can live up to what I think the masters, or maybe the originators of jiu-jitsu and judo and the martial arts, expected or thought of it to be. Not maybe what it is today.
I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah. As a female, when I do get to black belt, I definitely want to just, I don't know, I just want everybody to have fun watching me. Also be a good person. But I want to bring, like, excitement, like, show that, girls can bring excitement. Like, keep that ball rolling, because I feel like we're doing good, and I want to keep doing that. I hope I can do that.
100%.
But it's definitely a struggle.
Yeah, and I hear that, and
struggle.
speaking, like, back to my point of being like a beacon to, like, others and stuff. I do get, like, I don't know if it's because of my frame or whatever. I do get, like, girls, like, I ask girls to roll with me. They ask me to roll with them, pretty often. I'd want to be that beacon to, like, other people and other dudes, of, like, the example of how to treat, a female in our sport and in anything in general. That's a little something that I'm kind of passionate about personally, besides jiu-jitsu. Not just, like, obviously, not to sound holier than thou or anything like that, but just, like, that I'm about, empowering females and empowering women, because there's, unfortunately, like I said, like, a power imbalance,
And making them feel safe.
Yeah, making them feel safe in the sport and here and in everything in life, but specifically, yeah, the sport, jiu-jitsu, opening it up to as many people as possible, and showing them that, it's not how maybe sometimes they get the impression, because it could be intimidating sometimes walking into a gym and seeing all the guys and everyone roll with each other, and yeah, so I kind of want to be that friendly face and the smile, being like, hey, we're not all gonna smash and kill and we're just normal people out here. There's normal people out here that exist too in our sport. And decent people. So, which I do believe that there's more decent people than not in our sport. I feel like that. I know there's a lot of bad news going on and always going around, but bad news always spreads faster than good news, no matter what. So,
That's true.
yeah. So I think that there are more decent people out there than not.
So, I think that's a good spot to stop.
Yeah. That's a good positive. Just be a decent person. Roll with everyone normally. Live up to your black belt. Don't be a dickhead. I think that's the perfect way to stop.
I did forget to mention the Instagram at the beginning, as I usually do. Adelia usually reminds me. Oh yeah, okay. She wasn't here today, guys, but
we miss her. Shouts to her.
We hope you still enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Julien.
Of course.
For joining me.
Joining the group. Joining the podcast.
Me.
Shadow's here too. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Shadow's here. Thanks for joining us. So don't forget to follow Sisterhood of the Traveling Gi, or my personal one, Dark Nebula, BJJ, and Julien, what's your Instagram?
It's Julien M135. Julien's Julien.
Perfect.
M135.
Julien 135.
Julien M135.
Okay, so be sure to follow those. Once again, thanks for tuning in.
We're tapping out.